North Carolina comes from a history of really great people that stepped up to the plate and did a lot for our whole community. You've got a person in almost every region of the state. There's this history of great guys that brought a lot to the table. Where we're at right now is a strong transitional period where those guys are moving away. They're phasing themselves out. You can't blame them. They've put in a lot of work over time, and it's time for someone else to step up and do what they did. People like Sam and Stan have stepped away, but you have people like Mark Huether stepping up that was able to work hand in hand with Stan and with Sam to really see what they were doing and then help other guys get involved in that area to move the whole area forward. So instead of a small group, you've got a whole board that is helping to advance the Charlotte area.
The relationship that you build with your park and rec is the most important thing that any club can do. I think that's one thing people understand. I used to get criticized sometimes with some folks about what we could and could not do and how we should and should not do things. People would say, you're taking all the fun out of the sport. And I said, well, you know, we got to run it like a business. When you start running events and you have people paying to be there and have a level of expectation, you got to make sure you do it right. You got to make sure that you have everything in place to make sure that it doesn't come back on your host, which is the Park and Rec. Park and Rec can pull the plug on us at any time. We are in the parks at their discretion. Mark has really opened up the lines of communication with Park and Rec. He is a very A-type personality person who wants to see things through to the end. And he has really developed a relationship to the point that they had to redesign a hole at Sugar Creek. He went out there and flagged the trees, and they went out there and did all the work.
When we were walking that course for Worlds, they're building some new condos like right next to some of the holes. So when I saw that, I said, we can't have that. Those houses are gonna get hit constantly. So the extra step of calling the park department and saying, hey dude, you know, I think there's going to be an issue for you. I don't want there to be an issue for you. Can you come out and meet me and look at this? As soon as he saw it, said, you're right, you know, we got to make a change, thanks. And then got the tools and equipment and stuff to do all the work.
There's a lot of promoters and supporters of disc golf and PDGA events in North Carolina across the state. There's Jason Clark running the Eco Tour. There's Glenn Lohman at the Foothills Disc Golf. You've got Chuck Connelly, who really travels across the state and into other states as well, running disc golf events. They're looking to put on the most number of events, host as many players as possible, and really offer an outlet for tournament disc golf, getting people from that recreational stage into playing in a professional disc golf atmosphere.
I think one of the things I see kind of unique to North Carolina disc golf is the tournament scene. It's pretty cool to see disc golf become competitive from the tournament director side of the game. There's 4 people in North Carolina this year in 2018 that are running over 10 PDGA events. You count Phil Lawrence and Jay Pontier and what his clan are doing, so that's half a dozen. You throw in Charlotte disc golf, there's someone else that's, you know, running a dozen or more events a year. The organization of it is really kind of going to a different level where more and more people are taking it upon themselves to do more than just one event and try and create some consistency in the game.
You need new people to step up and to do what those people did and take it to the next level. It could be that one person was able to do a lot in their area, but a whole team of people can do more by working together, figure out what each other's strong points are, so that as a group you can succeed, and when that strong figure kind of steps out or removes himself from the equation, the area doesn't suffer. You're able to do it by new people stepping up and then looking at how you can work together to be able to accomplish the same thing or take it to the next level.
If you look at the spectrum of Charlotte disc golf being a 30 or 40-year-old thing, and you hear the same 6 or 7 names, what that says is that the next generation of person that can take over is pretty rare. What we really need is we need people to step up. It really just takes 2 types of people. It takes the people that are going to really bust it and work all the time and eat, sleep, and breathe disc golf, but it also takes the everyday player doing the small things. It's that little stuff that really makes a difference. Picking up trash when you play, moving dead stuff, and then also just reaching out to the people that are in charge so they know what's wrong. There's just small things that if every one of the tens of thousands of disc golfers in Charlotte did, their courses would look amazing.
What's really interesting to me is that disc golf started in California at the opposite end of the country, but we have such a deep history of disc golf in North Carolina, even though it's completely on the opposite end of the country. Horizons Park in Winston-Salem was the first course in our state, and you can see a lot of history even at that course. You look at the signs and it's going to be a wide open hole that's very short and list a high par because it's not based on the frisbees that we're using now. It's frisbees they were using then versus discs that we're using now. And even at that course, it's the oldest in the state. It really, in the history of human beings, it wasn't that long ago, but you can still see how far our sport has come in just that short amount of time.
Something that is worth mentioning is just how tight-knit the community is in North Carolina. Back when we used to meet at Horizons before there was a course anywhere else, I'd call Alan and Steve Lambert. We'd meet in Horizons. We'd drive up there, we'd play 2 rounds, run, eat, and then we'd come back and play another round and drive home. And we'd do that, once a month. There's a great tradition of camaraderie and spirit, but drive to be good, drive to improve, drive to beat your personal best. If you happen to crush somebody in a competition, all the better. That's what North Carolina's been about. Getting people involved, giving people a chance to play, and hopefully kicking your ass.